So words like free hit are now doing the rounds as Forest will travel away to Man City, where we get slapped pretty much every time. But will this time be different? Welcome to the preview for 115 versus Forest. Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the preview where coming up I'll talk you through the latest injury updates, how Forest can beat the 115, what can we expect, is it a free hit, and spoiler alert, we're winning this match. Yes, I am very tired. So make sure you've hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed if you're new, and do that hype thing whatever the hell it means. And let's jump straight into it. So there has been some injury updates, and this relates around the goalkeeper situation. As we told you last week, Sels was about 8 to 10 days from being fully ready to start. But because of Ortega's injury, Sels decided to step up. After talking with Vítor Pereira and the medical staff and everything, they decided to take the risk. And clearly he wasn't match fit enough to play that game. That game against, who was it? Brighton. So Forest do have a slight keeper situation at hand, and we also have a tired squad. Bless them, they're playing too many games right now and they're mentally tired and physically tired as well. Well, you know what, you got 9 or 10 games left in the league. Man up and step up, and it's time for the players to show what they were doing last season as a start. The majority of these players were here last season. They know how to get games and wins over the line. They got to show that determination. Some of them have been in relegation scraps before. This isn't new territory for them. And yes, it is at the home of the 115, but that shouldn't matter. I'm not accepting a free hit on this one. It's too late in the season to start just, chucking games off. Now, what I will say, the more important game happening isn't 115 versus Forest. It will be Fulham versus West Ham. We need Marco Silva to do his thing and make sure that no extra damage is done. For the first time in a few weeks, Forest and West Ham will be playing at the same time. Most times, because of our European commitments, West Ham have been able to either close the gap or not close the gap before Forest get to play. So this is a level playing field leveler, something like that. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so how is this going to work? I don't know is the answer, okay? And I'm saying Forest are going to win, and I'm going to say 2-0 off the bat. I just think that when Forest are expected to win games, they don't. And when Forest are expected to get slapped, some weird miracle thing happens. And it has to happen at some point for Forest. Surely this could be it. Could we get a draw? Look, a draw's a good result. A win is an ecstatic result. I don't know. I'm just going with hopium and nothing else because I got zero belief in any of these players right now. I really do. So look, let's jump into the squad and see what we're going to do with it and what Pereira potentially will do. Now, there are players that I do think need to be rested, even though that sounds hypocritical. And the first one that comes to mind for me is Nico Williams. He's just not been at it since he decided to go in goal the other week. And it's time to bring Nets into the fold. I'm going to put him here for a reason that will be obvious in a second. Einar's been okay, a bit in, a bit out, but Forest need to switch it up into a back three, especially against Man City. Now, I know the boys on Grumpy Old Reds last night were doing some weird team formations, but they weren't a million miles off what needs to be done, and I'll show you what needs to be done. Cunha needs to come in. I've been impressed with him. I've wanted to see him all season. But it's how do you set up these back three? In a Pereira system, he likes one of his centre backs to be a ball-playing centre back. Now, obviously, there's only one candidate for that, and that's Murillo. And you'd want to see that happening from the middle of the three so that he can push up into the midfield. These two can close the gap and box up behind. And with Cunha's pace, he is quite quick, very quick, I would say, especially for his height. That could work. So in an attacking setup, you would do that. And then in a defensive setup, you'd put Murillo there. Now, the likelihood is the more experienced one will go into the middle, which will be Milenkovic, and then Cunha's more naturally a right-sided centre-back in a three, and then Murillo goes in on the left-hand side. So what you could see is a switch into that in the defensive aspect of the transition, and then Murillo pushing into the middle from this position like that. So we'll just have to wait and see if Pereira goes with that. Nets is a natural wing back. Einar can do both, so there's no problems there. I know I've got 12 players on the pitch. Even with 12, I don't think we win. Now, what we have to do is sacrifice the wingers. So Hutchinson needs to come off. I think he's gone off boil as of late. And just for now, I'm going to bring Hudson-Odoi off, but I may bring him on in a second just to set up how this should work. What you will see, you'll have your 5 at the back, and then what Pereira likes is 2 10s behind the striker. So Gibbs-White, I think, has been very good under Pereira so far. He's going to be needed to be added with 1. Who that one is, I have no freaking idea. How many we got on here? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we need 1 more, which will be the other 10. I honestly don't know. Maybe you could go for a Dominguez for a pressing 10 position, which could be quite interesting to see, because then he can drop into the defense on the defensive side of the game. I'd probably go with that because I just don't trust Hudson-Odoi or Ndoi or Hutchinson or Bakwa or any of the others. So I think it could be a setup like this. So in essence, what you're going to have is a 3-4-2-1 formation when Forest are attacking, but it'll be more than that. Now, it's unlikely we'll see it against Man City, but what Pereira would like to do is get Einar right up there and say Nets there if he does indeed rest Nico Williams. Push push Murillo into the middle of these two, and that leaves you in your attacking formation like that. And that's quite a strong formation. Look, I thought it looked all right against Brighton when we were doing it. There was 1 or 2 times where the fullbacks or the wingbacks did push up into that position to give us a wide overload. Whether or not we see that tomorrow is a whole different story. Tomorrow, yeah, Wednesday against Man City. Now, in the defensive side of things, what you would expect to happen, oops, let me just undo that. What you would expect to happen is that Forest would bank up a lot. So you would see Nets dropping in, you would see Einar dropping in as well, and then you're going to see the likes of Dominguez dropping into the middle here, and then Gibbs-White here. What he wants to do is make the pitch narrow. This I agree with, especially against Man City. When we've had our successes against Man City, it's where you block off the spine, you just give them the width out there, and then they can't really penetrate too much. And what they do, they seem to they'll end up recycling the ball a lot back and forth and what have you. So, and the other question is, who do you put up front? Now, I contemplated Taiwo. I just don't trust him as a footballer. I really don't. And Jesus against Man City in the home leg actually gave their defense a lot to worry about. And in fact, if you remember back, what's his face? Diaz should have been sent off, but 115 kicks in. So that's the team I'm going with. It's versatile. It's a Pereira tactic, and it could work, and we could get a goal or 2. I doubt it, but come on, Marco Silva. So how does this game end up working out? There's a lot of pressure under Man City right now. They have to maintain their winning record to give themselves a chance to win the league. The fate of the league is in their hands, as it is with Arsenal as well. So no slip-ups can happen from Man City. Now what Forest need to do is just frustrate them for 25 minutes. Yes, it sounds easy on paper, but if you can frustrate them for 25 minutes, then they start to overcommit players. What you'll see is their defensive line moving up, not just to the halfway line, but into the Forest half. And then Forest may have opportunities to break with the wing backs, with Morgan Gibbs-White, etc. That's how he's got to set up. Good, quick, crisp counter-attacking style, a bit like we were playing under Nuno. Does it work out? Not a clue, guys. Not a clue. So I'm just going to say 2-0. Because if it is 2-0, I'd be like, I told you so. If it's not, well, free hit, as everyone keeps telling me. Get your score predictions in down below. Go check out Grumpy Old Reds from last night. It was a weird one, to say the least. And also, my predictions over on the second channel, Footy Network, are out. And yes, I did predict Forest to win. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you for the game tomorrow. Come on, you Reds.